Hey, good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? It was a beautiful day, so I figured we could go for a walk together and do our updates. Hey, Ryan. How's it going, man? Just doing my weekly live stream. Hey, did you want to go ahead and get this shared real quick while people are hopping on? Hey, a few people hopping on. Figured we'd do something different today. I know everyone's been cooped up in their houses, and figured for this week's live stream and update we could go for a walk through the forest. Kind of through the forest. All right. So, my name is Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. It is May the 9th. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I'm sure we wouldn't be what we are without all your guys' hard work. And today I'm going to go over a few updates. I don't have a lot of updates, just a few. And then while we're here, y'all can ask any questions you guys may have, and I'll answer any questions, do a live Q&A for y'all. It was just such a beautiful day. Didn't want to waste it sitting behind a computer. All right. Here, let me show you where I'm heading. Heading down into paradise. All right. So for our updates today, let's start with our lawsuit. So we do have a lawsuit ongoing right now. We are suing the Secretary of State, John Thurston, for ballot access. Our main causes for the suit are the First, the 14th Amendments, and then the way COVID-19 affected our signature collection efforts. I haven't heard much back about the lawsuit from my lawyers in the last few days, unfortunately. I've reached out to them. It's just a process right now, so we are doing everything we can to keep the process going. I know my lawyer was able to meet with the Attorney General. I think they were starting to get meeting scheduled for the Secretary of State as well. So as the lawsuit develops and we have some kind of progress, I'll make sure to keep you all up to date just through regular posts and things like that. But that's kind of where we're at with ballot access right now. So we did really good. Y'all are super awesome. I've actually I just got another, I think I got 29 signatures in the mail just today, and then we had gotten another 20 signatures in the mail the other day, so we still have signatures coming in the mail. What my lawyer told me to do is to just go ahead and continue collecting as many signatures as we can. That way we can show the judge that, we are still working towards, we're doing everything we can to make sure we get as many signatures as possible. So if you still have signature sheets, please get them turned in as soon as possible. If you need a signature sheet, just send me a message and I'll get one mailed out to y'all. But that's kind of where we're at with signatures. We were able to turn in 6,514 signatures on May 1st, which is just amazing. We lost about 60% of our collection time, so to be able to turn in 65% of the signatures we needed with only 40% of the available time to collect, I think we did a great job. Thank you all so much for your help. I broke it down in the numbers. It looked like in total we had about 600 I want to say 627 people that had offered to sign themselves, as well as getting other people to sign the petition, like friends and family. So we had, roughly over 600 volunteers helping with signatures, which is just amazing. I know we had a few really dedicated volunteers. Luba, I know you're one of them. Jim, Josh, and there's just so many more. I've got so many signature sheets. Lee, some of y'all were able to turn in more than 100 signatures, which is super awesome. And if you guys would like, send me a message and I'll make sure I can get you guys sent out some bumper stickers. I do still have some car rear window decals, so I think I have 5 of them. And I did pay about $20 a piece for them, but you know what? The next 5 people who send me a message asking for a rear window decal for their car, I'll send you a rear window decal for free. I'll pay for shipping and everything for y'all. Let's get my name out there so that people can start seeing our campaign while they're driving around. And thank you all so much also to the people who took place or who participated in our trivia night on Wednesday. It was my favorite one so far. I'm kind of a nerd, so I love the universe. We had a lot of really fun universe questions. The participation was amazing. Oh, there was a hawk, so beautiful. Yeah, so this is, it's just so amazing outside right now. I love it. I'm very blessed to be able to live in such a beautiful area. I know a lot of people keep saying, oh yeah, you're from California, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I am from California. As soon as I got really old enough to leave my nest, I went out to Louisiana, and then I kind of went all over the place because I just didn't really fit in California. Fortunately, my family, my wife, myself, and my daughter, we were lucky enough to discover Arkansas. I guess a little quick brief on how that happened is my sister's husband was in the Army, and he was overseas in Afghanistan, and he was a gunner on a convoy, and the vehicle he was in ran over an IED. He was the only survivor, and he's 100% disabled now. He has had several back surgeries to help with his pain, and I think his latest surgery really helped out a lot, and his condition of life is getting a lot better. But the Wounded Warrior Project bought them a house in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. So they went from Anchorage, Alaska to Pea Ridge. And after being out here for a couple years, my sister finally talked me into it. I was looking around. The cost of living was a lot less than California, and it was, a place to check it out and see how it goes. So we came out here, we fell in love, and we decided this is where we want to spend the rest of our lives. This is where we want to raise our daughter. And so that's, how we got here and why we're here. I don't plan on going anywhere. Like I said, this is where we are going to spend the rest of our lives. So I feel like the least I can do, that it's my duty at this point, since no one else is able to, we've got to stand up against the corruption in our government. We've got to stand up against Tom Cotton. We have to make sure that our representatives are answering to us and not answering to special interest donors. I mean, this dude has taken over $10 million from out-of-state special interests, and then somehow we're supposed to expect him to represent us here in Arkansas? Well, y'all are super amazing. 100% of my donations to our campaign have been grassroots. I haven't taken any money from political parties. I haven't taken any money from political action committees, from corporations, from billionaires. It's all from y'all, just working class people like myself. I don't think a lot of candidates can say something like that. So, thank y'all so much for helping give this opportunity for us to actually stand up to the corruption, and maybe possibly, if we're lucky and work hard enough, an actual representation in the legislative process. So thank you all again for that. We got to keep it up if you can. Right now with COVID-19, it's really put a halt to all of our campaign progress. We have switched to 100% social media at this point. I've canceled all my events. We're not doing any more meet and greets. it's made it a lot harder. But at the same time, I think by adding a few different social media events, like I've been doing my weekly trivias on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., my weekly live stream updates to kind of keep you guys up to date on what's going on and answer any questions that you all have. And then we also just started yesterday. So yesterday morning, we actually did a Zoom coffee meeting. So I'm going to try to start doing those. If they're successful, we'll do one every single Friday morning. I'll log on at like 9 a.m. on a Zoom meeting. I'll make the information public for everyone. So just click on the link and join on in. You'll have to wait in a waiting room for just a couple seconds while we get people filtered through, and hop on my Zoom meeting. You can join with video or without video, and we'll just chat. If you have any questions, this way I'm not just talking to my phone to y'all, I can actually talk with y'all. So if you want to try that, I'll be doing my next Zoom coffee meeting on this next Friday in 6 days at 9 a.m. Central Time. So give that a shot if you'd like. But like I said, everything that we're doing right now is social media based. So if y'all can help with some donations, just go to replacetomcotton.com. If you have just a couple dollars to spare, all of our donations for the most part right now, they're all going towards advertising. Every single day, I have people messaging me saying, "Oh, who are you? I thought Tom Cotton was running unopposed." Well, he's not, but a lot of people don't know that. So every single dollar that I spend on a social media ad helps people learn about our campaign. And when someone learns about our campaign and then they share it to 5 people, to 10 people, to 100 people, then those people learn about it and they share it to their friends. So right now our social media advertising is where our campaign donations are going, and it's the most important thing we can do, because we have to, it's just so beautiful. We have to get our campaign a little more well known. So, and again, thank you all, everyone who's been so supportive and, donating this whole time. I know it's really tough right now, especially with the pandemic going on. A lot of people are out of work. I think Hutchinson said 92,000 people in Arkansas filed for unemployment last week. 92,000. It's amazing. So, don't feel obligated. If it's going to hurt you financially, don't worry about it. But if you have a few extra bucks, that would really help. So, as far as my updates go, we're looking at, we are still in an ongoing lawsuit against the Secretary of State right now. It's looking pretty good. I'm feeling very confident about it. We do have precedent to the point where Illinois, they actually had their Libertarian Party sue, and their Secretary of State was able to grant them a 90% reduction in signature requirements. So 90% reduction, that would mean we would need 1,000 signatures, which we have 6,500, so we'd be good. They also extended the deadline, and on top of reducing the signatures and extending the deadline, they even allowed online petitioning so that people could make online, online signature forms that the candidates can print off and turn in. So we do have a really good case. We're just working through the process. It's kind of time consuming, unfortunately. Every single day we spend in this lawsuit is one less day that, we can campaign effectively. So hopefully we can get it resolved as soon as possible. Right now, I think we're looking at like May 30th is when we're going to have our day in court. And, I'm really excited. I think we have a good case. So that's where we are with the lawsuit. Upcoming, we do have another trivia night. It's going to be this Wednesday evening. I'm not sure the topic yet. So last week we did the universe, and what I would like to do this week is, unfortunately, pages can't make polls anymore. So what I'll do is I'll make a post asking what y'all would like the topic to be for this week, and then y'all can comment with your ideas and like any ideas that you think would be fun to do for a trivia topic. And depending on that, whoever's idea gets the most likes, that's what we'll go with for the topic. And then we'll figure that out Tuesday evening, what questions we're going to make up for Wednesday. So we have our Wednesday night trivia coming up, and then Friday we do have our coffee Zoom meeting. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm kind of looking, I see a lot of people are online and watching, but no one's really asking questions. So before I head off for the evening, did anyone have any questions? Anything policy, politics, life, anything? Let me get some questions in here real quick. Oh, such a beautiful day, though. I think we had, I believe, 297 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 just today in Arkansas, bringing our total just under 4,000. And we're at about 90 have passed away from the virus so far in total here in Arkansas. So, any questions, anybody? I'm gonna have to turn my camera and show you all how beautiful this place is. Oh my goodness. It's just so beautiful out. Topic should be how to defeat Tom Cotton. Well, that's an easy topic, sir. I know exactly how to defeat him. We just need ballot access. Once we have ballot access, he's pretty much defeated. And that's why they're trying to fight us so hard. That's why the Attorney General, doesn't want us to get ballot access, because she's taking money from Tom Cotton and she knows we'll beat him. So here we go. Oh, a hawk was hanging out on my trailer. These are my potatoes right here. I've got my potatoes growing. Like these little potatoes as well. And these are my carrots. I'm excited about my carrots. Carrots will be pretty good there. Let's see, where do we go to find out your policies and beliefs? All right, you can go to my website. My website is replacetomcotton.com. And from replacetomcotton.com, there's a few different tabs. If you go to campaign and meet Dan, I wrote a short autobiography kind of about myself, who I am and where I come from. And you can read that to get to know me a little bit better. And I believe if you go into campaign tab as well, there should be an issues tab. And if you go to the issues tab, you'll be able to see all my different policy stance. But I mean, realistically, my three main policy topics are going to be Medicare for all, taking on the climate crisis, and then the federal decriminalization of cannabis, including nationally expunging cannabis-related crimes. I miss sports, so watching the Senate candidates walk is what I'm doing. Yeah, it was just too beautiful to do my weekly live stream from behind my desk. Figured I'd walk around today and enjoy myself. I'm fortunate enough to live in a fairly rural area, so we've been out here for 20 minutes and only one car has passed by. So I can practice my social distancing while I'm walking around. It's nice. So peaceful. Let's see. How do you think Asa Hutchinson's response to the pandemic has been? What would you have done differently? So, I think his response has... there have been positive things about his response, and there have been negative things about his response. As far as keeping the state open, I think it was kind of a mistake. I know he's been touting all of his, Arkansas and our great numbers, and, we don't have that many positive cases and all these different things, but at the same time, we've tested less than 1% of the population here, and I know people who've messaged me who have called me and they're like, I'm really sick. I went in to go see a doctor and they wouldn't test me for COVID. I had shortness of breath. I had everything, but I didn't have a fever. And because I was missing one symptom, they wouldn't test me. So it's really hard to say the accurate numbers on how many people actually have really been infected with the disease when with the virus rather, when we're not testing all of the people who may have it. So it does allow us to keep the numbers lower and look good, but it makes the numbers not very reliable. I know I've had someone message me about having our small business loans. When we had first opened up our small business loans, they goofed up, and they opened up the website and started releasing loans one day early for about a 2-hour period. And during that period, a bunch of Republican senators' friends corporations got all of the loans And then they closed the window down saying it was error, and not a lot of people were allowed to get loans after that because all the money was already taken. That's why we had to authorize another, what was it, like $96 million or something like that for small business loans here, because we had a little bit of corruption in our government, go figure. Like I said, there's been some good, there's been some bad. At least at the same time, we do have a lot of businesses open still, which is a good thing. Thanks, I like our nets. I got these actually, my wife and I, we haven't gone on many vacations since we've been married like 9 years, and we did go to visit her friends in New York last year, and we went to Atlantic City for the afternoon, drove down there. And I guess in Atlantic City, when you buy apparel or clothing or things like that, there's no tax, so I got a really good deal on them. But yeah, so he's done some good things and he's done some bad things. Our economy is still pretty strong here. I know he's saying that people are enacting social distancing on, their own part, so we don't have to have mandatory stay-at-home orders. But at the same time, I mean, I went out to Sam's Club this afternoon, and I went to the post office in the Sam's Club, and people aren't social distancing. People aren't wearing masks. People aren't really taking it serious at all. We drove by several parks on the way to the store, and at these parks, you see people just hanging out, playing. I mean, the parking lots are all full. We're just not taking it seriously. So I think it's a mistake on his part to not enact those stay-at-home orders. I think what is going to happen in the next few weeks, I mean, this is just my personal opinion, I'm not a virologist or a doctor, is we're going to end the stay-at-home. They're going to start reopening the country, and, in 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to see another spike. But, what can you do? Eventually, we're all going to get it anyways. The main purpose of these self-quarantines and things like that is so that we all don't get it at the same time and we don't overload our hospitals. So, that's kind of where I am with Hutchinson. Let's see here. How long should the lockdown last? Well, it's really hard to say exactly how long the lockdown should last because it's not going anywhere. I mean, COVID is just going to be something we have to deal with for probably the rest of our lives until they have a vaccine, if they have a vaccine. Similar to influenza A and B. It's just going to be there, and people are probably going to have to get yearly vaccines for it if they want. Personally, I don't really get the flu shot, but I know some people are into that kind of stuff. But as far as it going away, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go away. And it could just be the first of many of these, viruses to start coming forward. With the climate changing and our ice caps melting, a lot of tundra that's been buried under ice for millions of years is thawing. And this thawed tundra is releasing new bacteria, new viruses into the air. And as we have our seasonal migrations from, our birds and such, they go up there, they can catch these flus, and they can bring them back to civilization. So all we can do is just consider it the new normal. I don't think eventually we're going to stop wearing masks and things like that, but it's just going to take a personal responsibility of, personal hygiene. If you go out to the store, it's probably a good idea to wash your hands when you get home, not touch your face and things like that. But it's just something we're going to have to live with, unfortunately. Oh, what a beautiful day. Let's see here. Let's see, any other questions on here? Oh, thank you for there. Appreciate it. Yeah, replacetomcotton.com. That's our website. All right. Made it home. Cool beans. So, am I anti-vax with regards to children's vaccinations? My daughter has all of her vaccinations. I'm not anti-vax. I think that a vaccine should be the parent's choice. We shouldn't be forced to put things into our children if we don't want to. Most people do, and I just think that it should be a parent's choice. But I'm not anti-vax. Vaccines have their purpose. There's a reason we don't have a lot of the diseases that people used to suffer from. Let's see here. Any other questions on there? Kind of scrolling back through these comments real quick. But it looks like I answered all of them. Oh, it is such a beautiful day. So I guess a quick recap on what we're going through as far as updates. We are in the middle of a lawsuit right now against the Secretary of State, the Honorable Judge Thurston. We're kind of playing through the process right now, waiting for our day in court. My attorneys have met with the Attorney General's people. I believe they've met with the Secretary of State's people. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens, and it's just a process. We're working through it. I'm very confident we will have ballot access at this point. It's just getting there. So hopefully we can have this all resolved here before the end of the month, and if we can get it all resolved before June, then we're going to start campaigning a little bit harder. I've been talking with my wife a little bit about what we're going to be doing as far as campaigning. It's really hard because my family is a little more high risk, so I might just start going out and maybe holding some rallies and meet and greets and things like that, and maybe I'll just stay in my daughter's bedroom in our room downstairs, and I'll just live down there for a few months while I campaign to kind of keep separated from them. But we are trying to figure out what's going to happen with campaigning. It's just amazing. This pandemic has it's changed being a candidate so much. It went from changing from being in face-to-face meetings with people, listening to their problems, and finding ways to help the help that they need and how you can do it for them, to me talking into my phone. So it has changed quite a bit, and hopefully it's not the new norm, and hopefully we can get our flat line through our COVID cases here soon, and we can get back to being out in the public and talking with people. And that's why I'm kind of trying to do my Zoom meetings on Friday mornings. That way people can actually talk to me. Hop on my Zoom meeting. It's going to be every Friday morning at this point, Friday mornings at 9 o'clock a.m. Central. And you can join my Zoom meeting, ask me any questions, just talk to me. If you're feeling depressed or anything, I know there's a lot of people are stressed. There's a lot of depression going around right now. If you need someone to talk to, up here. But did anyone have any other questions? Let me see where we're at right now. All right. It looks like we've kind of gone for a little bit. I can stay on a bit longer if there's any more questions, but I really don't have any more updates. There just weren't a lot of updates for today. So I kind of took y'all on a nice walk around the neighborhood. Let's see here. This absolutely gorgeous forest. We're so blessed to live here in beautiful Arkansas. Oh my goodness. Any other questions in there? Let's see. It's just so amazing. Hey, Carrie. All right. So anyone, any questions? No one, nothing. I got 9 people there. All right. So, all right, I guess I'm just going to finish up then. Make sure you do check out replacetomcotton.com. You can find my policies on there. You can find a lot about me underneath Meet Dan, kind of read my autobiography. It's a really cool website to go through. I do have some new ideas, which I posted on my website, where I'll actually be submitting 12 bills every single year that were created by my constituents. So you'll be able to go on my website, submit an idea for a bill, people can vote on it, and whichever bill has the most positive votes at the end of the month, that bill will get written up into a bill and it will be submitted. That way we can actually bring our Kansans into the legislative making process. So I figure that'd be a really cool idea. Another thing you can see from my website, you can go to my expenses tab and you can see where I've spent every dollar in the campaign. You can see how we're spending your money. Hey, Monica, make sure, so you can see that it is not being mismanaged, that it's being spent properly. Right now, pretty much all of our spending has come down to social media advertisement. I keep getting people messaging me every single day saying, oh, I didn't know someone was running against Tom Cotton. And because of that, I'm trying to do as much social media advertising as possible to get our campaign more known. So if you do have a few dollars, if you can go to replacetomcotton.com, donate just, even $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever. All of that helps to get our name out there. And I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, the first 5 people to send me a message that they want a free rear window decal for their car, just send me a message and I'm sending out 5 of them. So the first 5 people that message me will get a free rear window decal for their car. If you did participate in, the last 3 of our trivia nights that we've been doing every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., you can send me a message saying you want a bumper sticker, and I'll get a bumper sticker sent out to you for free. So make sure, if you need something, just send me a message, and I'll get you all taken care of. But thank you all so much for joining me tonight. My name is Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. And make sure to check out replacetomcotton.com. But thank you all so much for joining me. If you have any more questions, just send me a message, and I'll answer right away. Let's see, who are some other candidates or congresspersons you admire? Oh man, let's see here. There aren't a lot. I think one of the biggest problems with our Congress right now is that it's full of puppets that have been purchased by billionaires. Some candidates that I admire right now, I wouldn't say I guess I couldn't call out anybody by name at this point, but there is someone running against Nancy Pelosi. I would completely support that person. There's someone running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I would support that person. I know Amy McGrath. She's running against Mitch McConnell. And, pretty much anyone running against a corrupt senator or congressperson is A-OK in my book. There is one kid that I would mention. We're not 100% on everything, but his name is Josh Collins, and he's actually a truck driver in Washington, and he's running for the House up in Washington. I think it's like District 12 possibly. And, he's a young kid. He's really for the people. He's not taking any money from special interests like myself. So I think Josh Collins is a pretty good kid. He does consider himself a socialist, which worries me a little bit. But hey, the guy he was running against, he actually got that guy to drop out because he was doing so well. Locally, oh man, hard to say. I really have been focusing on my campaign more than, playing politics with other people. I'm not trying to play a politics game. I'm just trying to get in there and beat Tom Cotton at this point. I mean, I know Joyce Elliott, she is, she's a fighter for the people. She is she's done great things for where the people she's representing currently. I think Joyce Elliott's pretty awesome. I would vote for her if I lived in her district. That's for sure. Celeste Williams, I've met her a few times. She's a really nice lady. She's a million times better than, her opponent that she's running against, Steve Womack. So I hope Celeste can go ahead and beat Womack. That would be really nice for the people here in Northwest Arkansas. I've done a lot of research on Steve Womack, and I don't like a lot of things about him. Basically, I call him Yes Man Womack. He's voted yes like pretty much 90% of the time in the last, since his entire career, actually. There are very few things that he's voted against. Some of the things he voted against were raising the federal minimum wage for federal employees. He voted against allowing legal marijuana businesses to do business with banks. He voted against preventing the spending of federal money and anti-gay trans propaganda and things like that. He's not a very good person, so I would like to see Celeste beat him. That would be really nice for the people up here. We could really use a break from some of the different tax raises that he's voted on. If I could speak to anyone living or dead, who would it be and why? I know a lot of people are going to hate this, but I would love to speak to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was able to run as an independent and won a Senate seat as an independent, and he's one of our only independent senators. And I'm an independent, and I'm running for the Senate, so I think being able to talk to him would be really great. Maybe get some strategy advice and things like that. I have reached out to him. I'm hoping to hear back maybe soon. Now that he is no longer in the presidential race, maybe it'll give him some time to help some down ballot candidates. But I would say Bernie Sanders, I'd love to talk to him. Let's see, who else would I like to talk to? I'd like to talk to Dwight Eisenhower as well. I figured he was a very successful president. And I would like to talk to him. I'd love to talk to, of course, JFK, Bill Clinton. And there's someone lighting off fireworks out there. But yeah, there are a few people I would like to talk to, I suppose. Let's see here. Did anyone have any other questions before I go ahead and end it? Hey, Aunt Mickey. Hope everything's going good for you all over there in California right now. It's been pretty good over here in Arkansas. I can't complain. Social distancing isn't really being enforced that much, but at least our state is open. I think non-essential things should still be open. Well, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say. I think non-essential things should be closed, while essential things like grocery stores should be open. We don't really have to have our parks open right now, in my opinion. I think it'd be better if we didn't, just because I've been driving by them and no one is wearing face masks or social distancing, and our parks are all full. But hopefully we don't have a big outbreak or spike here in Arkansas because of that. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our little walk through the forest. Just absolutely gorgeous day. I think it's going to be pretty nasty this next week. We're looking at thunderstorms like almost every day of the week. So get out today before the sun goes down and enjoy it while you can. But thank you all so much for joining me. My name's Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. Y'all have a wonderful evening. May God bless y'all, and may God bless America.